What's up guys, and welcome to another track guide. This week we're at Lausitzring with the Mazda MX-5 Cup, and this is a very challenging circuit. Taking that into consideration, members are watching this track guide and getting my setups, ghost car and telemetry files on Discord with a 2-day head start. So if there's a week where that has already paid off, it's this one. The bumps around this track are brutal, and that made the setup tuning very challenging but also very rewarding. So without further ado, remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and let's get into the track guide. Coming into the first corner, start braking hard at the grandstand staircase in between the 150 board and get a wide entry to go around the inside tire barrier. As you get closer to the apex, try to induce a little bit of rotation so you can have a straighter exit into the jump right after this corner. In this case, I created the rotation by dropping the brake pressure very abruptly. From this frame, it looks like I'm heading straight into the tire barrier, but since I'm in a pretty aggressive angle of slip, I will make it just fine. Around this S-turn, attack the inside curb on the right to open up the line for the left-hander. Just don't get too greedy with the curb usage because that will invalidate your lap. One thing that you need to keep in mind for this entire section is that it's extremely bumpy, so the car is always on the edge of grip and you need to balance it with throttle modulation. For this tight turn, from about halfway across the track, start braking as the green flag display on the left hides itself behind the A-pillar of the car. This might look different depending on your view settings, so make sure you go to my Discord and download the replay for this lap to see how that looks like on your screen. Keep it tight all the way through, even on exit. The idea for this corner is to keep the car settled and ready to open up the line for the next left-hander that leads us into a long straight. This corner is an exact copy of turn 1, but this time we're going to brake about a car length after the 150 board. Use the same technique I talked about for turn 1 and it's going to work out perfectly. This next corner is super important but also very tricky. From about the inner third of the width of the track, start turning in from about this point in the turn and downshift into third gear just before you get to the green strip of AstroTurf on the inside. Use small amounts of braking to keep the front end of the car on a tightish trajectory and get on throttle at the bottom of the dip. Keep fighting for grip and trying to keep it on a tight line because we're going to apex this turn at the end of the inside curb right up ahead. On exit, keep 2 tires on tarmac because the track limits are very strict here. For this next turn, start turning in about a car length before the 50 board and gently downshift into third gear to maintain the balance while trying to not scrub off too much speed. Get back on throttle just before the inside curb starts and don't go over the inside curb. Keep it flat all the way through and remember to keep 2 tires on tarmac on exit. Into this slow turn, start braking hard just before the 50 board and don't turn in too soon, since we want to have a very late apex for this corner. You can use the inside curb, but it will probably upset the balance of the car. For the last couple of turns, use all of the curb available on entry and start braking at the ADAC sign on the left. These corners are very similar to those in the first sector, so use the same logic. For the left-hander, lift early and be patient because the wall on exit comes at you very quickly. Let the car rotate and wait for it to have a good exit angle before getting back on throttle. I got a bit greedy on this lap and my exit was very tricky. I should have waited until my car was pointing at least 10 degrees further to the left, so don't make the same mistakes as I did. So that was a lap around Lausitzring with the Mazda MX-5 Cup, and I hope this track guide was helpful to your week of racing in low fuel motorsports. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy the hot lap.